everybody. Alex Weaver here for the preview show with Jonathan Merryman. We're coming off of Darlington. It was a late night, but a fun throwback weekend. Erik Jones gets his second career win.
Second career win in arguably one of the biggest races of the year. Other than the Daytona 500, the Southern 500 is on the top of every driver's bucket list. It's one of the hardest tracks to win at. You have to be disciplined. It's one of the longest races we have all year. Erik Jones, we know he heats up in the summertime, has a really good average finish at Darlington. His style of racetrack, it's old school Alex. He gets it done, punches his ticket into the playoffs. Not that there was any question if he was going to make it or not make it, but a lot of questions circulating that 20 team. So you got to feel good heading into Indy with a win under your belt.
Yeah, you felt good about the 20 camp, and now they're locked in. They don't even have to worry about points.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about anything. They can just go out there and focus on having a good day at Indy and kind of get things lined up for when we head to Vegas and start the playoffs.
Well, a team that is worried about points, Jimmie Johnson had a strong day at Darlington. Get caught up in a little bit of a wreck and your day changes. Are we worried about Jimmie now?
I don't know if I'm super worried about Jimmie Johnson. I think
18 points out.
He's 18 points out, but here's the thing that I'm taking away. The bad luck he had at Darlington was not of his doing. You know, we've seen over the past couple of weeks he'll overdrive the race car, he'll get into the wall, have a wreck. This was not of Jimmie Johnson's doing. He simply just got caught up. What is good for Jimmie, though, is he came out and he got good stage points in stage 1, got some stage points in stage 2. So he was able to narrow that points deficit down to about 18 points. We're heading to Indianapolis. Guess who's got 4 wins in Indianapolis? Jimmie Johnson. Guess who doesn't? Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez, and Clint Bowyer. So he's got that going for him. It's not impossible for Jimmie Johnson to get this done. And, you know, it could be storybook.
Well, we've talked about bubble trouble for the last couple of weeks, and right now, if the playoffs were to start, we would have Clint Bowyer and Daniel Suarez in. Daniel Suarez will get over Ryan Newman because of the tiebreaker. Are those the two that you're locking in, that you think it's a done deal and this is our 16?
Absolutely not. I mean, if you're going to look at Indianapolis, you know, we talked about Jimmie Johnson having 4 wins. Well, Ryan Newman's got a win there as well. Daniel Suarez, Clint Bowyer, they don't. A lot's going to happen. A lot's going to happen during this race, stage 1, stage 2. Points are critical. If I'm Jimmie Johnson, if I'm Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer, or Daniel Suarez, I have got to go out and try to win both of the stages and let the finishing positions fall where they may for the race itself. It's going to be an exciting weekend. I can't remember a regular season finale that had this much drama and this much eligibility from 4 guys trying to make it in.
Yeah, well, I know that it's going to be intense, and it's hard to believe that I'm saying this, but we are at the regular season finale, and we're heading to one of the most iconic tracks in motorsports. What can we expect going to Indy?
I think what you can expect is Joe Gibbs Racing being really, really fast. I think if you look at the momentum that Erik Jones is going to carry over, at the history that Kyle Busch has, a couple wins here, Martin Truex Jr. runs well here. Let's not forget Denny Hamlin. We say he's the hottest driver at Joe Gibbs Racing right now. Last year, he narrowly lost this race to Brad Keselowski. So Denny's got a chip on his shoulder. We're seeing, you know, Joe Gibbs Racing is set to have another strong weekend. The ball's in their court. They just can't screw it up.
Well, they have all 4 cars locked into the playoffs. They've all won. So can anybody stop Joe Gibbs Racing right now? In
my opinion, I'm going to say no, because you know, we haven't seen the consistency from Hendrick Motorsports. We haven't seen the consistency as of late from Team Penske. So, and if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago if who was going to be the challenger, it was probably going to be Team Penske, but I think Joe Gibbs Racing is just so far out ahead of everyone right now. And at a place like Indianapolis where, you know, it's going to be tough to pass. It's historically tough to pass at Indy. Track position is key. I think Joe Gibbs gets his Toyotas out front. They maintain that track position. I think we're talking about possibly a Joe Gibbs Racing win this weekend.
We couldn't talk enough about Team Penske at the beginning of the season. What's happened? Brad and Joey both struggled at Darlington, so what's going on with that camp?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on over there. I think if you look at Darlington, you know, Joey Logano, he struggled almost all day long, had a couple of issues there. Brad Keselowski, he struggled with the handle of his race car, but he was in the top 5, top 10 for most of the night, so I think things are okay for Brad. And Blaney, he ran pretty good. He was just under the radar all weekend. I just think they're missing a little bit of spark. They just need something, and the MO for Joey Logano all year has been consistent finishes and stage points. We haven't seen that out of him the past couple of weeks. I think if they can get back to that at Indianapolis, I think they're set up well for the playoffs.
All right, time to put your money where your mouth is. I think we're going for the same organization, but different drivers. Who you got at Indy?
I know, after talking all of that about Joe Gibbs Racing, I just have a feeling that the 24 car William Byron Chad Knaus, with William Byron's experience there in the Xfinity Series getting a win, the package eerily similar to what we saw a couple years ago when he was able to beat Kyle Busch. And yeah, he beat Kyle Busch to win that race. And Chad Knaus, he's got 4 wins there with Jimmie Johnson. So what's not to like about the 24 car and kind of the storybook to their season on the pole at Darlington, so we know they have speed.
Well, we both like a storybook ending, but I'm going with a little bit of the underdog. Can't believe I'm calling him this. 48 gets it done.
I don't know if I'd call Jimmie Johnson an underdog in Indianapolis because of his history there. Certainly he needs a little bit of spark, needs to turn something around, so maybe Indianapolis, it can happen. I think if Jimmie comes out of there and wins a stage and finishes in the top 2 or 3 in the second stage, I think he's in good position. You know, anything can happen, man. It's going to be exciting.
Well, wouldn't that be a way to end the regular season if the 48 gets it done? So we'll see. It's the regular season finale coming up at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're heading there, and we're going to see who kisses the bricks at the end. That's coming up Sunday at 2 p.m. on NBC.